Are you happy to carry on raising your precious child based on experiments that were done with rats in boxes? Because if you're using things like rewards, consequences, and praise, that's honestly what you're doing. What you could be doing is leaning into and using the science of the last 30 years, which has made it very, very, very clear that using things like rewards, consequences, and praise are the least helpful thing for your child's sense of self-worth, their mental health, their relationship with themselves and with others. And if you carry on doing them, you risk jeopardizing all of those things for your child, which is the last thing you would ever want to do. So here's a few hard facts about children that you may never have come across yet, which you should have been told way back in the beginning. So number one hard fact is the first 8 weeks of a child's life is a huge period of their development. So what happened then really matters. Number two hard fact is their brain will not fully develop, especially this front part here, which is the bit that's about reflecting, being more rational, delaying their impulses, thinking stuff through a bit. That won't fully develop until they are heading up to, wait for it, 30. So a lot of the logic that you've been using with your child, well, why did you do that? So explain that to me. They really can't deliver on. They're not being difficult, but it can lead to a lot of frustration when you're parenting. And number three hard fact is that the first 6 years of your child's life and your life, so think about yourself as a child, they are in a much lower brainwave state, a kind of semi-hypnotic state. So a lot of the things that get used then, telling them off, telling them no, all that kind of stuff, they really can't connect with very well. All they experience it is as a form of dog training. I will give you this if you don't do that. But in reality, this lower brainwave frequency means that actually all their time and energy is spent on watching you to learn how to be a human being. So knowing that, you could pull back on the dog training and just model being a very spectacular human being for them. And guess what? That would have the greatest impact. So I hope those things are useful and fascinating to you. We have an amazing abundance of current science, which is not what parenting is based on, sadly, because the old parenting is based on putting rats in boxes, doing experiments to them, and then saying, oh, we can do the same with a child. No. Those days are over. And I speak to you as somebody who spent 31 years and, it's ongoing raising a child, but also as a former respite foster carer, a childminder, someone who's worked in children's nurseries, in schools, in many other places, and with parents around the world, and has devoured all the current up-to-date science that's going to do the best for you and the best for your beloved children.